G'day guys, Smith City here for Smith City Product Review as well. I've already got what I'm reviewing whizzing around the microwave. There's 3 steps to it, and if I had have just recorded it opening it up, it was going to be, a pretty long video. So, and my videos tend to go for a long time anyway. So I'm reviewing this beef, naked smoky beef burrito, 400 grams. It's ground beef, black beans and vegetable blended in smoky and spicy tomato sauce made with smoked paprika, chipotle chili and cayenne pepper on a bed of white rice topped with cheese. And I'm just going to give you a bit of free information. Obviously I'm a personal trainer, not practicing at the moment because obviously where I am, and not training anyone at the gym or online as of the moment, but that's going to go off 2, 1, beep. Bear with me, I'll get back to that train of thought in a second. That's going to be bloody hot, which it is. It smells pretty good. Carefully remove the film. That looks really good. Oh my god, that looks sensational. Oops, just... it's hot. So I've taken this off completely, which I did by accident. Peel off protective film, place back on microwave and heat for... Okay, so it says to... I might put it on for 2 and then 2 again, just with no lid on. Makes me scared that it's going to blow up in the microwave. Alright, so what I was going to say, guys, I'll give you some free advice. And I've been someone who's been overweight, extremely overweight twice in my life. One of the times where I lost a lot of weight, I experienced binge eating episodes and I didn't know why. I was training 5 times a week and probably, I don't count calories and I don't get my clients to count calories. I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionist. I just understand behaviours with my qualifications in mental health and youth work and all the rest of the stuff that I've done and the knowledge that I've gained around certain things. And so lost my train of thought, which I do quite often. It'll come to me. So yeah, obviously with those binge eating experiences, and then after that I got overweight again, working a dead end job as a removalist, working ridiculous hours and having, I was not in a good way with that, and subsequently put on another 25-30 kilos again and got to my heaviest. Obviously I lost it all again when I started to become a personal trainer, but I digress. So why I'm saying all this, guys, is I haven't bought this meal as a weight loss thing, all right? And as I've said to my paid group, if you're interested, message me and I'll let you know about the paid group. What I've said to my paid group not that long ago is that if you are buying pre-packaged meals or or are doing certain things like Weight Watchers or which I don't agree with, and the meals are calorie counted or whatever, and then you're someone who's like, oh, I did really well, I had 1,200 calories within a day. And yippee, I fell within that thing that was set for me. So you do that for 4 days. 3 of the other days you get to that marker, and yet you eat something that you think in your mind, and because you're being told to, that you think is bad, and on those 3 days you go on massive binges. All right. you got to look at it. Were those other 4 days where you ate not a lot of food, were you actually ever satisfied or full on those days? If the answer is no, which guarantee you it probably is the case if you are someone going to the gym and training, because that makes you a hell of a lot more hungrier training, is don't be scared. Don't be scared. And I just got to stir this once again. Oh, that's hot. The liquid in here has sort of got a little bit more chunky, which is good. That's what it's sort of looking like there. Another 2 minutes. Is don't be scared to incorporate it with something else. And I say this because, like, I bought it and I'm like, that's probably not going to be as filling as I would like. And obviously I don't have a plethora of options to binge on here, but it's like, okay, I bought that and I'm like, I don't think that's going to be enough. Okay, what goes well with beef and burrito mix? Tortillas. Now, one of them is 110. So if I have 3 of these with this mixture, I'm having a dinner that's 900 calories. Now, I think most people that are training 3 to 4 times a week, sort of can be around, a 16 to 2,000 calorie mark a day and lose weight over a period of time and be happy within that experience, as opposed to feeling like you're in jail, which is what a lot of people feel like when they're trying to lose weight to begin with. And so, one, this is going to make you satisfied, but 2, what you'll find is, like, I don't know if I'll have 3, but I'm just going to see how I feel when I eat it. And what you'll find is, if you get yourself to a point of feeling full and satisfied, one, you got to pick apart that, because that's going to make you feel fat. All right, and if you've always shamed yourself whilst feeling full because of the fat feeling, because your stomach's expanded or whatever, just know that's only going to lead you into trouble. And second of all, as that goes off, is you're going to be in a scenario where you actually are at nearly peak fullness, or just a bit under peak fullness, where, let's just say you do eat something that you think in your mind is you shouldn't, is being as full as you are from eating something substantial, that is probably going to limit how chaotic that binge is. Or you're not even going to binge to begin with because you're actually full. All right, so I don't want anyone ever, to ever think that you have to starve yourself to lose weight. All right, you only need to look at Ben, who I trained for numerous years, and he lost over 50-60 kilos. And I remember taking him to have a banquet at a Korean barbecue place, and we shared a banquet together, and he actually's like, are we allowed to eat this? Like, I don't think we're allowed to. And it's like, no, mate, like, you probably have been under eating for a little while from the stuff that he'd been telling me, and you need to understand that food isn't the issue as to why, when you were having your binges, and we've had these discussions many a times, and he's probably okay with me talking about it for sure, is that some of his binges were like 8,000, 9,000 calories. And so the food was never the issue. The styles of foods that he was binging on were never the issue. It was just the binging. So, that is bloody hot. So that's what it looks like, guys. It has really gotten, it's gotten a lot firmer, which is good. It's It's really hot, isn't it? I was going to just taste it before I put it into a wrap, just to see what it's like on its own. So yeah, this whole thing here, and like I said, I don't count calories. I just looked it up for this video alone to sort of give you guys a little bit of a, have a bit of a think. Sounds a bit patronising, doesn't it? Which is not what I'm wanting to say. It's more of a case of just get some awareness around certain things and learn. That's the biggest thing, is learn. And so yeah, this is 2120 kilojoules. Now you just bang that into Google and tell you the calories. I think it was 506. Now this one on the back has the calories there for you, which is 210. So yeah, 3 of these plus this is going to make me it's going to get me to where I want to with fullness levels. And look, I might do this just, for people playing at home. That's what my stomach looks like now. I'm not pushing it out. This is just a natural position of my stomach. I'm not sucking it in like that. This is just natural. Okay. Now I'm going to get some water. To have with my dinner, and then after I have it, I'm going to show my stomach in a neutral position, and you'll see that your stomach expands. And like I've said many times in posts that I've done on Instagram and also in my paid group, it's like we've got this cute perception running in our head when like puppies or kittens feed their small bodies and you see their stomach and you're like, oh my god, that's cute, look at their little belly. But us as humans, we tend to hate the stomach part of our body the most. And when it's not looking the way we think it should look like based on society and curated pictures and all the rest of it, and what peers think of us and what we think of ourselves or whatever, we shame. And so I was going to have some of this by itself. It's probably cooled down now. So this is the devoured naked smoky beef burrito. Imagine I just did the video naked and went, oh, I thought that's how you're supposed to eat this. It says it. So yeah, by Devour naked smoky beef burrito. I'll read off the back a little bit when I'm having the actual burrito itself, just to keep talking. It does say there's ground beef in there. What percentage does it say? 10%. Yeah, it's not a lot of beef. This is another thing, guys. If you buy something like this for convenience factor, alright, instead of even having the wraps, you might even have 1 or 2 and you could add some more mince. Or you could have 1 and add more mince and just make a massive burrito. Just, do what makes you feel comfortable at the end of the day, but also challenge what makes you feel comfortable and uncomfortable, because a lot of the time what makes you feel uncomfortable isn't actually the real situation going on at hand. So that is quite nice. It's got a bit of spice to it, a bit of kick to it. It's got a nice flavour to it. And I'm just going to pull out a Mexican frisbee. They're all stuck together, so I can't get one out. Am I going to have to put them in the microwave to... Yeah, I think I am. Not ideal, guys. Put in the microwave for 30 seconds. should create a little bit of stuff to be able to separate them. Now I'm glad I didn't do the full cooking stages, because the first time was for 6 minutes, I think, so. Probably put them on for a bit too long now, but oh well. Mexican frisbee. Now, being in a rural area and not actually training in a gym pretty much this whole year, except, you know, the first month of the year, is my muscle definition has gone completely. You know, you might go, oh, you know, like you still got, but yeah, I used to have a lot of muscle definition before this phase of my life, which is not a bad thing. My body is going to shift and change, and that's okay for it to do so. That's hot. That's really hot. All right, this is the the Naked Smoky Beef Burrito from Devour in, is it Mission? Yeah, Mission Soft and Fluffy. Going into my pelican-like mouth. Could also put this in hard shell tacos. You could also add to the wrap some avocado and some sour cream if you wanted to. That was a great decision buying those wraps. Great decision. I know it's got rice in it. Doesn't look like there's a lot in there. But unlike the lasagna one I had last night, it's got pasta sheets and whatever. It's a bit more filling. These wraps were one of the smartest ideas I've ever had. My stomach is expanding, people. Now, gaining awareness around your thought patterns and having those thoughts aren't the issue. It's not catching them and then realising that you're in control of those thoughts, because you are. And you can get to a point where then you are in control of those thoughts. And so, yeah, like I was saying before, is quite often, you know, you might get to a stage where you do feel yourself getting a bit fuller, but you've always associated that being full with being fat. All right, and then that makes you go into a massive binge. And in your head, you could be like, oh, I've stuffed it up. Oh, I've eaten too much, when you probably haven't. That's just your mind playing trick. And it's like, okay, and going back to the 3 days or the 4 days of hitting your calorie quota of some bullshit company, is you then go on a massive binge. And unlike those days where you did fall under the calories, where you're praising yourself and you're like, oh, I've done whatever, you know, you need to even get some, gain some knowledge and acceptance around, okay, I've just had a bad thought. Bad thoughts come in. Is it bullshit? Start to systematically try to pick that thought apart of why it's bullshit, and then just get on with the rest of your evening or the rest of your day, depending on whenever you're eating food. And then another thing, if all shaming has led you to your binges, and all your binges has led you to the path of where you feel unworthy of certain things, whether it be the way you look or what you're receiving externally or whatever, you can see how that becomes a massive cycle. And the brain, you just need to get your brain off autopilot. And all it takes is like for one moment. And you're like, oh, okay. And you might then go for the next 6 months of binging or whatever. And the next year you might have like 5 scenarios where that happens. And then the next year, most of your days are like that. And then you go, okay, well, I've just learnt a little bit how to make my mind shut the fuck up. In that capacity. Oh, it's poor. I was going to put it back, and I'm like, no, he deserves to be loved. He's a bit different. He can go into my gob. I'm really glad I didn't do those 6 minutes to start off with, because we'd already be at nearly 30 minutes. Righty, just popped. You know what else you could do with this? I know it's got beef in it, but you could put shredded chicken in there. Fry these on a pan, make little quesadillas. Now, I've got some more mixture left over. I'm probably going to have a fourth one, which is okay. Which I'll do off camera. That by itself, 8.5. That with the wraps, 9. If I had like guacamole, sour cream, whatever, bump it up to a 10. You know, you could even crush up some corn chips or something if you wanted a bit of texture. Alright, so, you know, I haven't gone crazy in terms of the amount of calories I've consumed within a meal. But check out my stomach now. That is neutral. where it sort of probably sat a little bit like that prior, but that's neutral. That's sticking out. That's obviously, curated. And so that's where it's sitting normal. Obviously it'll go down after I, do a poo or food digests, and in the morning my belly will look a hell of a lot different than what it is now. But if this feeling here, and like especially when I'm sitting down, I'll even show you. Move this out of the way if I can. No, it's not low enough. That's what it looks like now, sitting down. I reckon 9 out of 10 people, or close to 10 out of 10 people that are losing weight, feeling how I'm feeling now, which is near that capacity, and then also the visual of that could send someone into I've stuffed up, I'm going to eat the whole pantry door off its hinges, and then you consume another 3,000-4,000 calories within that. Whereas if you had have just gone, that was a yummy dinner, geez, I made a really good decision with those wraps, yeah, I'm going to do that again one of the other nights this week, that was fantastic. And you get on with it, do a poo, wake up in the morning, your stomach's settled. You do that over a period of time whilst exercising over a period of time, and not to excess. No one needs to exercise 7 times a day. Professional athletes don't train that, so no one needs to be training that way. You will find that your weight does go down on a downwards trend, and you will have, if you do weigh yourself on the scales, it will fluctuate up and down and whatever. You could have done everything nutritionally well. You could have exercised. You could have had your best week in the gym in terms of the amount you lifted and how well you felt in there, whatever. And you could step on the scales a week later, got 500 grams, and you're like, you bloody liar. 2 things: muscle. Second of all, you need to look at some certain things. You need to look at certain things. For a weigh, when was the last time I went to the toilet? If you haven't pooed for 4 days, chances are you're going to weigh more. That's just the way it is. Anyway, I've probably yarned and gone off on tangents and whatever. But yeah, that was really, really lovely, really, really nice. And don't be scared of chopping and changing and adding things and whatever. Don't feel like you shouldn't be buying pre-packaged meals to lose weight. Don't feel like you should be buying pre-packaged. I always say, eat to eat, train to train, rest to rest, and that's all I've got to say on the matter. Anyway, dismiss it out.